Thank you for joining us. I'm Mary Yanez, Director of the Senior Adult Program, and this is Mature Living. Thank you so much. You've been such loyal audiences for so many years, 28 years for that matter. Well, we have a guest that is not a stranger to Mature Living. Grace Ortiz is here from the Adult Protective Services, and she is the Community Engagement Specialist. And I know you travel around. Thank you for traveling
to El Paso, to my hometown.
To your hometown, to Mature Living. And she has some great news for us and something a lot of fun that you can attend. As you know, Mature Living dedicates itself, and the mission is to invite people to do things and to get involved. And what are you going to tell us today?
Well, thank you for inviting me, Miss Mary. I'm really excited. May is around the corner. It's time to pull out our purple clothes.
Oh, I forgot to wear purple today.
Elder Abuse Prevention Month is the month of May, and we've got two great events that are coming up. One is for May the 11th, our 7th annual Go Purple Health Fair. It's at Bassett Place. It's going to be from 11 to 2, and we're making sure we make it a little bit later so our seniors can have their breakfast and get out there and have some fun. We're going to have information on services for seniors. We're going to have entertainment. We're going to have door prizes. It's just a day before Mother's Day to get out and have some fun.
And many exhibitors, of all types. It's a health fair, so we'll be having some screenings maybe, and
yes,
we'll be there with the Senior Adult Program.
You know, it's just important. A lot of seniors don't know what's out there, what services that they can use. I think El Paso is very resourceful, so we're going to have lots of vendors out there, about 30 to 31 vendors.
Yes.
And they're going to be out there providing that information. And again, it's a day before Mother's Day, so I'm challenging. Get your mom, get your grandma, go out, have some fun at Bassett Place, do a little shopping for them, and just enjoy a few hours at Bassett Place with us, just to raise awareness for elder abuse prevention.
And talking about women, the queens are going to be there. Tell me about that.
So I am inviting all the senior queens from all the senior centers. We're going to present them that day. We're going to serenade to them, and we're going to present them with flowers. I just think it's a special day to introduce them to the community and let them know we have lots of queens in our community.
Absolutely. And you know, they wear these sashes with really proud East Side Senior Citizen Center, South El Paso. You know, there's
and they're expected to be treated like royalty. So
that's it.
Please come out, meet them, and know that we are there to support our seniors and to support the prevention of elder abuse.
And really awareness to the community, because we must tell our community that if they know someone, and you can explain in what conditions sometimes you find neighbors or relatives, that they must report so that we can serve them and help them.
So APS is now looking at doing things differently. Our goal is to provide services to those seniors. So if you see a senior who doesn't have food, needs medications, needs help at home, is deteriorating, report it to Adult Protective Services, 1-800-252-5400. You can save a life just by making that one report.
Yeah, and sometimes there's clues, right?
If you see them changing, memory loss, they're not taking their meds, there's no utilities in the home.
They're not bathing.
They're not bathing, then you need to call us. And it's just a simple little visit, and we're going to see how we can help.
Help them. Oh, that is so wonderful. And that is the Adult Protective Services way.
Yes.
You're there to help.
That's what we want to do. We want people to know we're there to help.
And then you're having another event.
So right after that chili cook-off on May the 16th, we're having our sixth annual Go Purple Chili Contest, cooking contest, tasting contest.
Chili cook-off.
Chili cook-off, and we want everybody to come out. It's at the Holiday Inn off of Missouri, 409 Missouri, downtown. We're going to be in the parking lot. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have lots of chilies to taste from. We're going to be selling a hot dog plate, which is our APS Silver Star board. $5, you get 2 hot dogs, a soda, chips. You get to taste all the chilies. And again, it's about raising awareness. Wear your purple and have some fun with us.
Are we supposed to wear purple every Wednesday?
You know what, if you could, I would say wear purple during the month of May and let everybody know why you're wearing it. Why are you wearing purple today? Because I'm promoting Elder Abuse Prevention Month. And again, it's about our seniors. There are so many out there that really need our help. and need to understand that APS is not the bad guy, but we're here to provide services.
Are those chilies going to be judged? Are there some prizes or trophies?
We're going to have first, second, third, and the people's choice, so that everybody gets to taste and vote on those as well. So the competition is great, believe it or not.
Are there entries people can enter their
Last
chili?
year, Bien Vivir won. So what, a year before. So we have a lot of community partners that are very, very competitive, and
We're going to be there.
And they want to bring their chili. Bring your crock pot of chili. Just let me know. If anybody needs information on these two events, I want them to call me at 834-5772, Grace Ortiz, and come out. Enjoy our two events. We just want to have some fun. And again, the key is raise awareness. Let's save a life. Make a report with APS.
And by raising awareness, does that help our community to bring funding to our community to help continue to help our seniors?
Absolutely. We raise funds with the APS Silver Star Board. They buy things for our clients that the state can't buy. Televisions, you'd be surprised, musical instruments, anything that makes their life better, we're going to do it. And there's a lot of need in our community. So between Mature Living, between Adult Protective Services and the APS Silver Star Board, I know that we can make a difference and make a life of a senior better.
Oh, it's so wonderful. There are so many things that you do, Grace, and one of them is to teach for the senior adult program. Tell us a little bit about your class and also all this traveling that you're doing.
So right now, I'm teaching a class called Seniors Knowing the Future. And my goal is to teach individuals to get ready for their senior years or get ready for having to care for a senior, because that's my goal. I want our seniors to stay home. So in that class, we teach about APS, hoarding, caregiving, the burnout, how to stay healthy. But the big kicker to it is that personal recorder. I get that individual organized from everything in your home. Your life will be in that notebook. So if anything were to happen to you, you fall and sprain an ankle, you can tell your friend, go home, get my notebook. My life's in there, from my medical to my finances to my doctors to my history. And as long as you get organized, I think things are a little bit better for you.
Yes.
And making decisions are easier.
Well, if we could clone you, we would.
If you find out how, let me know.
If I can find you, because you're out of town serving other
So right now,
regions.
my job has been very, very busy. I cover El Paso, I cover Midland, I'm covering Abilene, and I'm covering San Angelo, Adult
Amazing.
Protective Services. And believe it or not, I'm not biased. Maybe I am biased, but I'm going to tell you, El Paso is very special to me. I think that we have wonderful people who step up and want to help our seniors, which is a lot different from the other communities that I have to work at. But my goal is, again, if I can just
have
get
the best
everybody to understand Adult Protective Services and to know making a report makes a big difference in a senior's lives, then I did my job.
Great. Wow, we've been talking with Grace Ortiz, who is my backup host here on Mature Living when I'm ill or when I'm out of town, and she's wonderful. And so you be sure and call 834-5772. Call Grace Ortiz at Adult Protective Services. Thank you so much, and we'll be back with more guests. Well, thank you for staying with us. We're going to continue our conversation with more wonderful events that you can attend and also help our community. And so I want to reintroduce you. Sister's been here before, and she's one of our students with our senior adult program. Sister Helen Santa Maria from the Sisters of Loreto. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Again and again. And then you've brought, oh my gosh, you've brought Father Ron Gonzalez. I don't know how many priests. I don't think we've had any priests come to Mature Living.
We have a first.
He's the first, all right. And you're the pastor of the Sacred Heart Parish in the Segundo Barrio. And we're going to be talking, and I'll let you do all the talking, about the Segundo Barrio Person of the Year, Father Ram Award. Tell us about that. Who wants to start?
Well, about 6 years ago when I arrived here, we were thinking about how can we bring the community together and also raise some funds for the parish, which continues to be one of the poor parishes. So this brilliant idea, well, what about a Segundo Barrio Person of the Year award? And they said, what about we can name it after Father Harold Ram? He's 100. He's still living, and I thought to myself, the man is already in his 90s. I said, do you think we can bring him back from Brazil? And once the idea started forming, it continued on. So it became, now this is our 5th annual Father Ram Segundo Barrio Person of the Year Award. It brings the community together, it raises funds for the parish, and it brings awareness from the wider El Paso population to the history, their history.
That's it, our history, because
Yes.
we're all, as a matter of fact, part of my history, because I came also from the Segundo Barrio, 2nd Ward, South El Paso. It's got so many names. And we have roots there, and we love Bowie High School, and we love Eoy, and we love Sacred Heart and St. Ignatius out there, you know.
Yes.
It's wonderful. So whatever we can do, we're going to help. Tell me a little bit about the ones that were awarded this year.
Yes. So we recognize a person, an individual, a group of persons that have made a contribution, a difference there in the Segundo, educational, sociological, economical. And this year, we thought about the Sisters of Loreto. And the Sisters of Loreto came to frontier territory many years ago. These were hardy women that came down here and are still serving in some of the poorest places here. And so it was a unanimous decision, myself and my little committee, that we said, yes, the Sisters of Loreto, they're still here.
Time.
And so we have the representatives here, and so they will then together remember all of them.
And Sister, what do you have to share about Sisters of Loreto being a part of that?
Absolutely. First of all, I want you to know that we were founded in 1812 in Kentucky, and we claim to be one of the first American-founded orders, okay?
Yes.
And so we're proud of that. We came to this area in 1897 and established a school in Saneli to minister to all the girls actually at that time, and it was a boarding school, expecting that the train would go through Saneli. We were there about 13 years, but the train never came.
Okay.
It bypassed Saneli. We had to bring our students, if they were ill or something, into El Paso to the doctor. So one day a doctor said, sisters, why don't you just come to El Paso? And it just so happened that a school became available that some sisters left, and that was St. Joseph. We named it St. Joseph's Academy. Now it no longer stands because the highway took it.
Yes.
Way back when. But then that very same year, we were asked to be the teachers of Sacred Heart School. And so that was the first school that we taught in the Barrio. After that, we went to Immaculate Conception, which was, but the school was St. Mary's.
St. Mary's.
And then we went to St. Ignatius. We were at Guardian Angel. We were at St. Joseph's. We were at Holy Family. And then we eventually established Loreto Academy.
Now that's a famous building. What a beautiful campus you have.
Yes, yes.
The Loreto Academy.
And it's thriving.
We know many, many young women that went to, they're not young anymore, by the way. Some of my friends that went to Loreto. Even my sister went to Loreto, my oldest sister. But we need to have a reunion. I mean, a big shindig maybe of all of these people, community members, men and women that went to all of these schools.
Yeah.
That would be a fun one, wouldn't it?
And it seems to me this might be an opportunity for them to at least to consider that as a possibility.
Yeah, a dinner or something where we could contribute.
Well,
and give
our first event for this award
Yes.
is a big dinner at the Epic Center.
Yes.
And we'd love people to come back and remember their
and we haven't even talked about that. Tell me about the events.
So the big event is April 25th. It's a Thursday, and it's at the Epic Rail Yard Center, as Sister says. And so we sell tables. We have individual tickets that people can buy by contacting our parish. But it's going to be about 300 people. And as I said, this is the 5th annual, so we've done this many times before. And so the sisters, we'll have some sisters there, some of them that are coming in from Kentucky for this event.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So this is Thursday the 25th of April.
And that actually is the foundation day of the Sisters of Loreto.
How memorable. And how did you manage that?
I don't know. It
just happens. That is great. Saturday the 27th, what is happening then?
Well, we have the parade. And so once again, that brings the community together. The parade starts there at San Ignacio, right in front of San Ignacio, and makes its way through Father Rom Street all the way back to Sacred Heart. And so people that are interested in participating in this parade, you can, bring your group, you can bring a band, you can bring a car, you can bring decorate a car. And so
Are they going to put you in a flatbed? All the sisters
I'm not sure. We haven't.
tie you up.
we have some cars that are lent to us. These are classic cars.
Oh,
The last 2 years, if you remember, we've
The
had
lowriders.
Lowriders, but these are beautiful T-Birds.
Oh.
One of our friends and benefactors lends us his collection of cars.
Oh, my gosh.
And so far, hopefully, we can put the sisters in those
This
convertibles.
is great. That's so
And that's going to
great.
be on Saturday. So if you're interested in participating, I invite you once again to call the parish for more information.
And we're going to give that phone number, right? Let's do it now so they can go get a pen. 532-5447.
Yes.
There's another event on Sunday. Tell me about the Mass.
So the Mass, of course, is 12 noon Mass, and we have mariachis, and we have the sisters there, and it's just a very special Mass, again, to kind of culminate the celebration during that week. I believe the sisters are also going to be having a chance to go to some of the schools, I think Guillen, I think Bowie, on Friday. And they usually go and they speak to the students. A lot of our students, remember, they don't know what a nun is, or sister, or priest, or anything. So now they will have a chance to at least, have a uplifting talk, supporting them, because like you, having grown up there, the people still struggle down there. We're still serving the same population, and so we want to try to invite them to be part of it in some way.
Absolutely. And maybe choose this life of service.
Maybe
Tell
so.
me,
Never
sister,
know.
your
You
thoughts.
never know.
We're just about out of time, but I'm going to give you some time to share your thoughts. And I'm sure y'all are just excited, all of
Yes,
you. How
really.
many?
And I feel very excited, happy, because we've been very committed to educating all children, and then focusing on educating women leaders.
Yes.
And I think we have incredible alums across, not just El Paso, but across the world. We're always proud of our alums. I'm an alum.
Yes, yes.
So we're just thrilled for this recognition. It's been a very important ministry. I want to mention that we also opened a shelter in the Villa Maria, which is a shelter for women experiencing homelessness. But it's a shelter that really there's not another one like it, because it only focuses on the woman, not the children. And so they can get through all the programs to help them
yes.
get their
Through
self-esteem
their difficult
back.
times.
Yes.
And it's passing. It's something that happens to all of us so that we can grow.
Absolutely.
And we do grow from these difficult times, the hard times.
That's
And
right.
then there's good times coming.
And it shows change.
Yes.
We're alive,
always-
alive and well.
Very
and
good.
doing God's work.
There's a golf tournament coming up in June. Would you come back? And we can get a whole
I'd
bunch
love
of
to.
golfers to...
June 7th at Butterfield. It's the Father Jack Vessels Memorial Golf
Okay.
Tournament. Once again, another event to bring our Jesuit alumni. So, Sisters of Loreto, the Jesuits, we're still serving down there in the Segundo.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. God bless you all. And we're going to give that phone number one more time so that you can call about any of these events. Call Sacred Heart Church in the Segundo Barrio, in probably the poorest zip code in the nation. So if you want to help Sacred Heart in this community of Segundo Barrio, you can call 532-5447, and you can come to all of these events. Or if you want to just donate money, we'll take it. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you, Mary.
Okay, and we'll be back with some more guests. Well, we want to conclude our program this week, inviting you to the Rose Garden, the Municipal Rose Garden here in El Paso, which is the most beautiful place to visit. And so we've invited a couple of ladies that are here to talk to us about the Rose Garden and some other things, some other wonderful things about gardening. We've got Press Deahrkup. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
I'm anxious to ask you some questions.
Okay.
And then I've got Denise Rodriguez, who is with the Texas A&M Agri Extension Agri-Life Extension Program.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're going to talk to us a little bit about something different. But I'm curious to know, your nickname is Prez.
Yes.
Deahrkup, which is a beautiful name.
Thank you.
And it's spelled kind of funny. So we have to phonetically talk to her.
Yes.
Tell me about your interest in roses. How did that happen?
Well, the gentleman I married loved roses, and we were in the military, and we traveled all over the world in 26 years, and we planted roses all over the world. And we did not get to stay long enough to really learn about them and take care of them, because like every 2 years we were gone. So when we moved back to El Paso and he retired, we decided we better learn something about them. So now we have about 150 roses in our backyard.
Oh my goodness. And I have 3.
Oh, well, as long as you have one, you'll get hooked.
Okay, yes.
And you just, the more you learn, the more you want to learn, and they bring so much joy to people. It's wonderful.
They bloom beautifully here in El Paso, sometimes even in December.
Oh, yes.
Isn't that amazing?
Well, we're blessed for the climate we have here, because other places have very moist climates. They have a lot of different bugs that we never have. And I think this is the best climate you'll ever have in the United States to grow roses.
And so you've been very involved with the El Paso Municipal Rose Garden that's located at
712 North Copia.
and Aurora.
Correct.
Right.
And Aurora,
Very
yes.
good. And tell me, are they very hard to take care of? Are they pretty sturdy and hardy? What can we learn?
Everybody is afraid to grow them.
Yes.
Because they think they take a lot of time. If you give them water, if you talk to them, give them a little fertilizer, that's all they want. And they're very forgiving. If you cut them wrong, they will still come back and bloom.
Yes.
And they're very forgiving.
And can you snip a little piece of it and plant it? Do they grow that way?
They can, but you have to put it into some powder that you can get and let the roots start a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's easier just to go get another one.
And you buy the roses.
Yes.
And they're already packaged, and it tells you the names.
Yes.
Where do they get those names? And of course, they crossbreed them, and you get yellow with pink and red.
Oh,
There are-
we have hybridizers, and that's their job. They grow roses, and it takes them years to get a rose just like they want to show and to sell to the people. First of all, it has to be pretty, nice color, good quality, and a catchy name. Names are done by, it can be a place, an event, a person. The one thing I can tell you is a funny story. There were some hybridizers that had been working on roses for years. They got the most beautiful red and yellow combination, and they could not come up with a name. And they worked and worked. They went out to lunch one day, just threw up their hands and said, "We'll probably never be able to find a name." And they sat down at the table and they all jumped up and yelled, "That's it, it's ketchup and mustard." There were the ketchup and mustard bottles on the table, and that was the color of their rose.
And they named it
Ketchup and mustard. And you can still buy it to
And
this day.
what are some of the royalty names that roses are given?
Oh,
The ones we know.
Princesses, kings, presidents. There's presidents,
Kennedy?
men and women. And it's amazing. The name is a whole nother study
Isn't that
as to
amazing?
why they got it.
That is so interesting. When does the rose garden open? Is it about that time now?
It's time.
It's time.
It opens the 1st of March, but that's when people are doing pruning there. So there's nothing to see. Right now is the time to go. We have 2 prime times, the spring, which is in April, and the fall in October. The garden is closed from December, January, and February because there's really not that much to see. But it's open from 8 in the morning till 6 in the evening, and it's closed on holidays. I don't know why, but it's closed on holidays, and if the weather is bad, they will have to close.
They will close. And what do we expect to see? And we're going to get to you in a minute. I'm just having fun with Prez here. So what do we expect to see when we walk into that garden?
When you walk into that garden, you see color and magic and beauty and birds and butterflies. And it's a magical place. A lot of people tell me they go down at lunch, they've up to here with paperwork and they feel loaded down, and they take their sack lunch and they go down there and sit, and it's just peaceful. It's quiet.
I think
and
I have to go
wonderful.
over there after our show.
Yes, now's the time. Now
Yes.
it's starting. We're not in full bloom quite yet, but we will be
In a few weeks.
Oh no, soon.
Very soon.
This weekend
Tomorrow.
will be a perfect time. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for
You're
sharing
welcome.
with us and your love for roses.
Oh.
Somebody's got to do it, right? Denise, tell me about the county extension.
Sure. So the Rose Society, along with the Master Gardeners and the Extension Service and the City Parks and Rec, really have a great public-private partnership going on. And really the best thing about that is that we all bring something to the table, whether it's education and outreach, extensive knowledge, and then also just the facilities themselves. So the Master Gardeners are available. They are at the Rose Garden 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. You can always stop by, ask your questions. Right now it's coming into full bloom, but then soon the summer will hit, and then those flowers begin to fade. So you need to be able to know how to trim them back, or deadhead as we call them, so that you can encourage new growth.
Wow,
So it's
that is
really
amazing.
labor intensive, but if you just walk that little park, that little area, 1,500 roses packed right in the middle of the city, it's a great area as a retreat.
It's wonderful. And is there a phone number can we call Ms. Deahrkup?
I get calls all the time, like I got 2 this morning before I left home. Are the roses blooming? And we also get calls about girls wanting to get married or do photo ops there. And there's opportunities all the time. They can always catch me on my cell, 915-309-4092, and always leave a message if I don't answer, and I'll get back to you.
And then can we call the extensions, or if somebody's interested in the Master Gardening Program, or to
course.
talk to the Master Gardeners, or to you?
Definitely.
You know, it's Texas A&M,
Yes,
right?
ma'am. The Master Gardener Help Desk is 771-2354, and they're available all throughout business hours. So make sure you give them a call, and they're also online as well. So
And we've invited the Master Gardeners here on Mature Living, giving us great tips on gardening.
it's a great
It's a great place in El Paso to have
Yes.
gardens.
It's
We
a
have
wonderful
great weather.
program.
Let's take advantage of it.
Yes.
Beautiful sun.
And
Thank
we-
you so much.
And we get people from all over the world that come here just for the rose garden.
Oh my goodness.
We have a wonderful garden here compared to some of the other places. It's large, 4 acres, and it's a treasure, and it's a tourist attraction.
And we want our seniors to get out of the house
Oh yes, yes,
and go over to the Rose Garden.
yes.
Make it a fun day. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate
Thank
you.
you.
And we'll see you all next week with more Mature Living.